Today I'm going to be building Herbie from the new Fantastic Four movie. This is going to be part 1 in a 4-part series. This part is going to be focusing on Herbie's designs and all of his mechanical systems. I actually thought about building this project back in March of this year, but with the busyness of engineering school and other project I was working on, this project kind of got put on the back burner. But with the new release date of the Fantastic Four movie, I really wanted to get this project done on time. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
This is a lab coat, definitely not a dress shirt. So here's the thing. On this channel, we don't just build things for show, we build things that actually work. So designing all of Herbie's systems is going to be harder than a mother. The first step is to outline what we want this guy to do. According to the movie trailers and Google, Herbie is overall an assistant to the Fantastic Four. He helps make food, helps serve drinks, and overall just keeps their house clean and assists them on whatever missions they might have. So overall for my needs, I want him to be a garage assistant. I feel like it would be cool if he could move around the garage and follow me. I also feel like it would be cool if he could hold a conversation with someone. Like any good assistant, I also want him to be able to hold tools in his hands. I also want to have a OLED screen in the middle of his chest. And in the movie, in the trailers, we see that he has a 4 in his chest. And I could obviously replicate that, but I feel like it would be cooler if I have an OLED display and kind of put a digital 4. I also got some inspiration from Star Wars, and I feel like it would be kind of funny if Herbie had a crazy mode like we see R2-D2 do in the movie. I also think it would be cool if he has a taser in his right forearm, just like R2-D2 again, like he has on the top of his head. Okay, so this is actually probably my favorite feature and the one I'd be most proud of if I can pull off. I feel like it would be awesome if Herbie could put out fires. I've never really had a fire break out in my garage, but I do think it would be a really cool added safety feature. Another feature that would really come in handy on Herbie is if he could generate a flame. Now this might seem kind of random at first, but just a little flame like we see on a lighter actually really comes in handy around a workshop in case I ever need to warp a piece of plastic or if I need to heat up an Allen key to unclog a 3D printer. Finally, I really hope to include a projector and a camera in Herbie's head. I feel like it would be really cool if I could project images with Herbie of like certain parts or certain circuit diagrams. And I also feel like it would be cool if I could record on demand with the camera. So in terms of exterior design, I'm going to stick to Herbie's original paint job of white, black, silver, and blue. Obviously, black and silver are just the undertones, and it's really the white and blue that make up Herbie's body. So these are all of our features outlined. At first look, it does seem like a lot, and I think it will be pretty complicated, but I do believe that with enough effort, we will be able to get this done. So without any further ado, let's get designing. Okay, so now that we know what Herbie is going to do, we need to figure out what he's going to look like. Now, unfortunately, back in March when I did start designing this project, Marvel only released this. So this is all I had to use as source material for what Herbie would look like. And that's really just a sketchy side profile of what Herbie might look like. But nonetheless, it was all I really had to work off of, and luckily somebody online did make a 3D model of what Herbie would look like. So I got the 3D model off of Cults 3D and I started messing around with it in Mesh Mixer, and I really use it as my base for the design. Unfortunately, Marvel slightly changed the design a few months later in the new Fantastic Four trailer, but nonetheless, I stuck with my original design because it did look close enough to the actual model, and I did put so much time and effort into it, I wasn't going to change all of the designs last second. So as you guys can see here in Mesh Mixer, this is what the design looks like. And now we need to work on the mobility. So mobility is a really big point for Herbie. Obviously, he's going to be a robot moving around my garage and he's going to be helping me out. So we need to figure out all the points of articulation for him. Starting with the arms, we're going to want 4 points of articulation for them. So we're going to want to have a joint in the shoulder so that his arm can swing in front of him and behind him. We're also going to want to have one so his arms can go away from his body and towards his body. Then we're obviously going to want to have a joint in his elbow so that he can bend it. And I also want to include a joint in his wrist to spin. So Herbie will need mobility in the neck. He's going to be around 3 feet tall when he's on the ground. So he's going to need to be able to look up at the user. We can't have a Michael Keaton Batman situation. Also, we're going to want Herbie's torso to be able to do a full 360 spin. I feel like it would be pretty cool to see him work in different orientations around my garage. Now for the big question, how is Herbie going to move? So initially, I was going to go with a tank track design. However, after designing and tinkering with different prototypes, I realized that this was just overcomplicating the problem and it was really over-engineering the situation. So I decided to go for more of a wheel design and have them protruding out the sides of Herbie, as you can see in the 3D model here. It also closely resembles how he looks in this photo, so it works out perfectly. So now that we figured out what Herbie's going to look like and all of his points of articulation, let's get to building and bring him to life. So this is Herbie's arm. These are the parts for it. I got this pipe that I'm gonna cut. And this is gonna be for the extension on his legs. Herbie's arm just broke. This just snapped. That sucks. Ugh, the struggles. Here we have Herbie's head. I'm gonna remove the supports. Oh, sneak peek. Shh. So guys, I have Herbie's head right here. It looks really good so far. Here's the hole for the projector to go into, and then here's the eye that's gonna spin right now with the servo. And then here is his kind of mechanical design for his head to go up and down. It looks really good so far, and I really like how it's starting to turn out. If you look at his neck, he kind of has this like air duct material so that when he moves side to side and up and down, it compresses and stretches with his movements. And I'm pretty sure I found the exact material that they used in the movie. Just this material that extends down and it covers the mechanical movements. So it stretches and compresses just like in the movie. So I feel like this will work out really well. And I really hope it'll look good with the rest of the project. Okay, now that Herbie is fully assembled, let's just test out all of the joints. Another really satisfying thing about building things is really watching them come to life. This kind of stuff really puts a smile on my face, and it's just really fantastic. Say that again. Oh, it looks like he broke his arm. But you can kind of visualize this is where the taser will go. I don't know if you can see that, but...
I see this as an absolute win.
Okay, so that about does it for part 1 of building Herbie from the Fantastic Four in real life. In part 2, I want to get all of his hardware installed and all of the cool features. In part 3, I hope to tackle all the software issues and really bring him to life. And in the final part, part 4, I want to test all of his cool features and show you guys what I built in the end. Hit that subscribe button to follow along the journey, and of course, comment any recommendations or cool ideas that you guys have for this project. Of course, this is just the beginning. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Keep building. Subscribe for more engineering content.